Hey everybody, welcome back to Laptop Seniors. If we go anywhere, almost always after we do the videos, we start getting emails like, where did you stay? Because somebody might want to stay where we stayed, mainly because we've done all the painstaking work to eliminate all the crap stuff, right? And figure out which is the best bang for the buck and all that sort of stuff. So again, people feel like, I would do the same thing. So this is another one of those videos. I just thought I'd, take care of it for you. Now, originally we stayed in Getsemani, and we showed you that video, the Airbnb there. Then we moved to Bocagrande, a totally different area of Cartagena. And it's like basically being in Florida along the coast. I mean, it's a beach area, oceans on both sides. It's really, really gorgeous. And we thought we'd show you that. And this time we stayed in a hotel, a Holiday Inn Express. It was right dead in the middle of Bocagrande, between the top part of it and the bottom part of it. Lots of stuff all around it. It's a great area. So we'll show you the outside area, we'll show you the inside area, show you the hotel and all that sort of stuff, and talk about it too. If you're unaware what it looks like, this is all of Cartagena, and what's in that red rectangle is Bocagrande. Now, what we're going to do is zoom in on that just a little bit, and we'll make sure that you can see see that red dot? That's where the Holiday Inn is. Now, that whole thing looks like a big L, right? And Bocagrande is the area that is, the large part of the L, the top part going straight down, even though this is not straight down. And then the lower part of the L is Castillo Grande. Also a cool area, but a little bit farther away from everything. But basically, these two are sort of similar. We like Bocagrande much better. And this is, just give you an idea of how built up it is. And then kind of zoom in a little bit. One of the things that you can see right across from that red dot is McDonald's is there and a whole bunch of restaurants all around the Holiday Inn. So to me, basically what you're seeing on screen right now, this is the area from top to bottom that we would consider living in. Essentially from the Hotel Dorado there all the way up to a little bit beyond the McDonald's on the top. In any direction, on either side where the water is, east or west, or in any of these streets. It all seemed totally fine to us. Lastly, these are the prices of the Holiday Inn. I just picked a week at the end of July, and this is basically what it costs. Queen, if you want a queen room, $134, all in, taxes, everything. And if you wanted a king, it was a little bit more. I think it was $143, something like that. And that includes breakfast. So that's where we're going. Now we're going to take a drive. We're going to drive from El Centro, the old town, the walled city. We're going to go right from there, right from the main plaza, and we're going to drive straight down to the Holiday Inn, and we're going to let you see it. Now, there's a time on the screen right now. If you don't want to see it, just jump ahead. We're looking through a window, so sometimes there's reflection of the sun, and you get to see, the driver in reverse and things like this. But, you'll get an idea of what the drive is like. Again, if you don't want to see that drive, just jump ahead to the time on the screen.
Okay, time to let me break in and give my 2 cents worth. This pirate ship actually does sunset and evening cruises and tours. And I didn't realize that when we were there, but when we go back, I think we may just do that. It's only about $55 a person. You can see these bus stops, waiting stations are sort of in the middle between the 2 lanes of traffic, but they're raised and gated and very secure for people to wait for transportation. I remember feeling a little sad leaving Getsemani because even though we were really skeptical at first and didn't know what we had gotten ourselves into, it really grew on us. I don't know, it was busy and active and lively, and there was a lot going on and tons of restaurants, so I found that really enjoyable. Here you can see the roadways were very well maintained. The boulevards in between with lots of trees were quite nice, and they didn't make you feel like you were on a highway. But this is the main road going down into the peninsula, and it's actually on the right side heading south. So this is the farthest right street. And I was shooting out the window towards the buildings while Pat was facing towards the beach. And actually in the reflection, you could see a bit of a beach if you look very carefully. But I thought, you know, if someone's thinking about going somewhere, it's great to look at beautiful beaches, but just seeing the buildings, that these were quite well maintained, most of them, not all, but it looked like the ones that were getting a little bit run down were definitely being gentrified one after the other. So this area, much like Florida, I would say, it's not allowed to really decay, because when the buildings start going down, they just revamp them or tear them down and put up a new one. Now you are looking at the Playa Bocagrande mall, and this is a really big, really nice upscale mall. And we are passing the Cartagena sign, which you might recognize from another video. Yeah, I think you could probably find anything your heart desired in that mall. So again, we're on the far right side as we're going south, and our driver is going to turn into the left shortly because we're the next street in. So you're going to see another street. I found the sidewalks were pretty good here as well. So anybody, you know, with Panama, we're always saying how the sidewalks can be broken up and you have to be careful, especially walking at night. Sidewalks were reasonably good here. I know Pat talked about the hotel, the Holiday Inn, a little bit earlier, but I don't know if he mentioned that it's an IHG. So if you have IHG points, you can book with points. So you can see all the shops. Now this is the street we stayed on. Tons of shops and restaurants, just one after the other. But this street did have a little bit of an older feel, at least up in this area.
So this is the Holiday Inn Express, and that's it from the outside. You walk out here and bar, restaurant, bar, restaurant, bar, restaurant, bar, restaurant. And as I mentioned from the other, there's McDonald's. This is the Frisbee, which is like a chicken place. And down there, hard to make them out because they're so next to each other, but there's 5 restaurants right down there. And then there's the El Corral thing. There's another kind of a cool place where you can get breakfast in there, although the hotel has free breakfast, and they have big breakfasts, so you can pretty much get anything you want. So, and there's one of the tour buses. Or the hop-on, hop-off buses. Although they kind of do a route where you're not really going to see anything. They go up and down Bocagrande, you don't really see very much, and then they kind of go around the outskirts of the old city, so you don't see in the old city. It's just along the wall. So I don't know if that's actually worth anything.
So This is the lobby. And it wasn't huge, but it was very nicely done, and it had a very open feel. That's the mezzanine that we're looking down from now. So there were some tables and workstations there. This waiting area with the little cozy settee seats on the right-hand side was quite lovely, I thought, rather than sitting in chairs or at tables and desks. We're walking in towards the restaurant where we had great breakfast. And I'm sorry to say that we didn't get a shot when it was filled with people, because it certainly was every morning. They made these wonderful Colombian buns that were gluten-free. So they were largely made with cheese and I think a starch. And they were just nice, soft, puffy little buns. So being gluten-free, I was really in heaven being able to have my own little bread.
I don't know if you can see it or not. See if I can zoom in a little bit, but there's a very small little Navy base there. I think you can see 2 or 3 Navy ships, Colombian Navy in the bay and the port here.
Oh, I know this place well. This is the rooftop bar and the pool. There was a wonderful little seating area, which you just saw. It was just so cozy, and there were like beds, as you can see here as well. There was a little bit of a roof covering, and it was quite nice to come up here and do a little work on the computer or just relax by the pool. And look at all the greenery and this view. Wow. Lovely, lovely to show all of you people a toilet. I'm sorry, but we all want to know and see that the washroom is good, functional, and clean, and it was. Plenty of storage, little coffee station and a safe, and a little tiny fridge in there. That's always handy to be able to have some cold drinks in your room. This was sort of a different and interesting setup with the 2 little round poofs, I guess you would call them. I didn't really find that round couch all that comfortable, but it was nice to be able to move the poofs around and do what you will, because Pat is one who likes to claim the desk.
It's a pretty big room. I kind of walked it like, you're golfing, and you're taking your steps in roughly a yard. So this thing's going to be about somewhere between 40 and 45 feet from the front door to the windows. So that's pretty long distance. Seems like a really big room. King size bed. It's nice. Holiday Inn Express never ceases to surprise in a good way. One of the things that was really nice about the area, this is beyond the hotel, all around it, it felt enormously safer than Getsemani or even the walled city. This seemed like we weren't actually in Colombia. Now, I know probably various things would happen here, pickpocketing, and probably somebody maybe breaking in if you went away for vacation. Again, not ideal, but it just felt way safer than other parts of Cartagena that we were in. So it's great when you get out on the street, because as you can see, that's mainly a chicken place, Frisbee there, and then there's McDonald's. That building on the other side of the corner over there is a waffle place, which is a chain in Panama and in Colombia, and they have great food in there. Thanks again for watching, and by all means subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Hope you like seeing the Holiday Inn Express in Cartagena, Colombia. Until the next video, bye for now.